Hi, this is Yamez with Island Metal Forge. I'm just here today. I'm actually doing a voiceover, so obviously this mask that I'm wearing won't allow me to talk as freely as I'd like. I've turned turned the audio down so that the music shouldn't be a problem, and I guess I'll talk over it. This is me just putting on some modifications to my BACOS, my big ass chunk of steel. I am welding on a excavator pin and a piece of pipe to be used as a Pritchell horn and kind of a, not really a hardy, but something that I can use for punching a drift through. I will be adding meat later on eventually, but I want to see how this works right now. Right now I'm just tack welding it on and seeing how it goes. And first and foremost, I would like to let you guys know that I am not a welder. I don't have welding experience. I have a welder, and I know the concept of it. I know how to get it to stick, and I know how to get it to stay. Beyond that, I really just mess around with it. All I'm doing is just trying to get in there. I know that I should have probably laid the thing on its side and put in a filler weld, raised it up a couple quarter inches or so, and pad welded the entire inside so that it was solid welded all the way through. But if I ever do want to remove it, I want an easy grind off. It should be strong enough for my purposes. Plus, if it breaks off during a live video, that would just be funny. That would be hilarious. Now, I'm just checking it and doing my thing. And, yeah. So I'll let you guys sit there and enjoy this for a moment. Don't mind my bald head. It's obviously... I haven't shaved, a couple days, and my bald spot is really showing. I mean, just look at it, right? Yeah. But, yep, just checking to make sure that it's on there. Yep, it's on there. What am I looking for? I can't find my little hammer, so obviously the next best thing is a pair of grips, Those are what I use to hold my punches and such. They are working for me for what I'm doing right now. If anybody who has welding experience wants to give me pointers, I am more than willing to listen. Brushy, 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 brushy. Brush, brush, brush. I feel like I'm scrubbing the undercarriage of some, horrible robotic man. But as I was saying, I'm not a welder, and I'm not quite sure exactly what all I'm doing. I just know that the more I get to know it, the more I learn it, the better I'll be. And I do believe that I need new gloves. I felt a lot of little. That was a shocker. It always sparks when I don't want it to, and then scratching it to get it started is always kind of, wonky. But here I'm just trying to fill it in and, build some structural metal around it. Yeah, I keep stepping over the cord. I almost trip on it a couple of times, but I wasn't about to lift this 200-pound chunk of steel to my welding table over there, where I have my forge, and do it that way. So, screw it. I clipped it onto a piece of the forge, or a piece of the BACOS. And if it sounds like an echo chamber with this voiceover audio, it's because I don't have any padding on this wall alcove that I'm in with my computer. Yep. Good old grippers. At first I wasn't going to film this video, but I figured, you know what? I get a lot of compliments on my BACOS, so I figured I'd, show any little modifications that I do to it, you know. I'm just trying to build up the sides so that it's has a flattish area. I'd like to reiterate again that I am not a welder. And none of the music that you hear in the background is owned by me. It is Pandora playing, and I apologize if this video gets pulled because of that. Just testing it here with a brass hammer. I think I thought I had my rounding hammer in my hand, but I didn't even light the forge today. I was intending on doing some cleanup in the backyard, and then it started raining right when I got to it. It won't stick. There we go. Tack it on so that I can use both hands. Trying to get a good angle. Yep, there's the bald spot. I noticed my finger was out. Yep. There, I got it stuck. I'm just filling in the area between the pipe and the BACOS. And don't worry, this is a mild steel anvil. I'm not ruining anything that's hardenable. But what's the point of having a 200-pound chunk of mild steel if you're not going to weld things to it? Oh, little jump skip right there. I think I went to look for my welding hammer and couldn't find it, and walked back in here in defeat. You guys wouldn't believe the amount of resolve it took not to jump around, because I'm wearing shorts and the sparks kept hitting my legs. But all in the life. Yeah, my little tinging hammer. I don't even know what the heck that is. I found it in the back of my truck one day. I think somebody threw it in there. No idea what to use it for. It's got a split in the end. my mask started to malfunction. I got to loosen up that right side screw, that right side fastener. Look at the welding, not at my bald spot. Jesus, guys. Trying to use every last bit of rod. Yep, looks tight to me. Don't worry. I grabbed quite a few more pieces of rods and throw them in there. Another thing is, I don't really play with the welder too much, and I should. I should play with it as much as I possibly can. This is me trying to get into the hole between the two. I'm a little confused, but I get it. Here's where I find that, going down when you're doing a vertical weld, seems to make it a lot prettier of a weld, a lot better of a weld. The one that you can see right in the front is a real crappy weld. I did that top to bottom, but the one behind it is actually a pretty decent weld. There, you can see the surprise on my face. So that's what that was. I heard something fall when I did that, and I had no idea what it was. I'm very likely not very safe doing this, but I needed a suntan anyway. This is me just getting as much molten material down there to give stability as I can. Just filling in the gaps, filling in the gaps. If I ever have to remove that part right there is going to be a pain in the nuts. These are just 6013 welding rods. I can get them cheap. $10, $12 for 5 pounds. Still just doing filling. There's a big gap there that I needed to fill. Just trying to find anything I can to chip away any of the slag that's in there. I think I checked to see what it was, and it was a fuller piece that I had made once. Yeah, I really ought to take some welding classes sometime. But who's got the time? Again, I reiterate, I do not own any of this music, and I really hope that the volume doesn't have YouTube flag it for removal. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a chunk of steel and weld it to the other side of this setup so that I can have some meat for when I'm drifting a hammer or something. This is just me having a rod and wanting to finish it off. As I sit here watching it for the voiceover, it is kind of mesmerizing watching it. It's kind of neat. Man, do I go for another rod? This is me trying what I learned on the other one, trying to go down rather than pull it up. But I can't quite get the right angle because of the stuff in the way there. Oh, there goes something. Stop looking at my bald spot, everybody. Again, I'm just filling in spaces. Yep, I'm done. Now I'm going to chip it away and get as much slag away from it as I can, and then grind away. Again, I reiterate, I am not a welder. I don't know how to weld, but I know the concept of it. And so, in the end, you'll see it's not all that pretty. But for me, it's functional. And if I notice something that I need to fix later on about it, I can fix it later on. So that ain't a problem for me. I just didn't want to have my day wasted when I opened everything up to clean up the backyard and it started raining. So I just grabbed onto a project. Picking away. There's a little bit of slag in there. I'm sure there's inclusions. I was just checking to see if maybe my welding hammer might be on my little table behind that. Huh. I'm bumping my head in the video and here while I'm doing the voiceover. Back to the grinding. I like picking at metal. It's fun. I feel like a dentist here, working on my BACOS' cavities. Just get your teeth nice and clean, Mr. BACOS. And I stare at it. See? Ugly, ugly welds. But it really does hold. I like to hit things a lot. I think I get a bit carried away and just keep tapping. Just keep tapping. Anyway.